Morning, students. Now, today we are going to start our next chapter in the moral science, which is essence of life. Okay, we have seen to live well in a society, money alone is not enough. We should also have a good behavior. It is human nature to seek friendship, love, and affection, which money couldn't buy. These qualities fill our lives with happiness. If we are kind to others, they will be kind to us. Bad manners, angers, and a harsh word not only drive away friends but also others, including our own family members. A person who possesses these bad qualities never gets respect and one day become a lonely man or woman. A well-behaved person plays an important role in maintaining peace and harmony in a community. He does not hurt the feelings of others and always has good terms with his friends, neighbors and family. In this way he keeps to peace in the society. It is not just materialistic thing does not make us happy. We have to be well behaved, well mannered, sophisticated, and we should be kind towards others. Then only we can have that respect amongst each other. So here, to explain this essence of life, there is one story about an angry prince. The Bodhisattva was born in very learned family. Okay, so he was very who Bodhisattva. It was born in very learned family. He was sent to the University of Takshashila to study Vedas and various arts. After completing his education, he returned home and began to help his parents in their household activities. He also began to impart his knowledge to others. When his parents passed away, he decided to go to the Himalayas and meditate. He continued meditating until he realized that he had grown in wisdom and compassion. After this, he decided to go back to the people and work for their happiness. After returning from Himalayas, he decided to live a simple life like of an ascetic. He took bath in the river, dressed like an ascetic, took a begging bowl in a hand and entered the city like a beggar. Okay, his beautiful, contented face and compassionate eyes attracted everybody towards him. He smiled at everyone, whether big, small, rich or poor. It means he equally see people. He don't like partial. He's not partial towards rich people or hatred towards poor. He see everyone equal. Okay. While walking, the young ascetic entered the royal palace. His slow and steady gaits were as dignified as a king. He kept on walking. He had no idea that he was in the king's garden. The king saw him from the balcony of his palace. He was attracted by the ascetic's dignified personality. King said to his minister, "Did you notice that great man strolling in the garden?" Minister was not attentive when the king questioned him. He shook his head and said, "Yes, I did, your majesty." "Please go and bring him here. I would like to meet him," said the king. "Of course, your majesty, I will go and bring him here," said the minister, and he went towards the garden. Young ascetic was about to leave the garden. When the minister reached there, he called out from behind, "Please, please wait." Ascetic heard him and stopped. He turned back and asked, "Gentlemen, what is the matter? Do you want anything from me?" Minister very humbly joined both his hands and said, "Dear ascetic, my king desires to meet you. Please be kind enough to come to the palace." So what he said, that ascetic said, "I am sorry, dear minister, I have spent most of my time in Himalayas. I do not go to the palaces of kings. So kindly ask your king to forgive me," replied the ascetic. Saying this, the ascetic once again started walking with his bowl in his hand. The minister ran to the king and told him what the ascetic had said. King asked the minister to go and once again request the ascetic to come. So the minister once again went to the ascetic. Ascetic, who was already out of the garden, was walking in his own world when the minister stopped him and said, "Please do come with me. The king is very eager to meet you. He wants to discuss with you an important matter. Please," pleaded the minister. Ascetic thought that the minister would fall in some trouble if he did not meet the king, so he agreed to go with the minister. They both went towards the palace. A king greeted the ascetic at the gate itself. He took him inside his palace and made him sit on the golden throne while he sat on a floor. Later, a delicious meal was served to the ascetic. After the wonderful meal, the ascetic thanked the king for his excellent hospitality and decided to leave. At this, the king asked, "From where have you come?" I came from Himalayas, replied the ascetic. And where will you go now? asked the king. I am going in search of a suitable place to spend the monsoon, replied the ascetic. In that case, you can live in my guest house, which is in the garden. Believe me, I will be highly obliged if you agree to become my guest during the coming monsoon, said the king. Ascetic was greatly moved by the king's feelings, so he agreed. Now king began to make regular visit to the ascetic. The more he met the ascetic, the more he became attached to the ascetic's wisdom and nobility. One day king told the ascetic, Dear ascetic, I have an 18-year-old son. Despite being well educated, he is very rude and arrogant. Very often he humiliates people. I am very unhappy because of his attitude and behavior. One day he will become a king and ascend the throne. The role of a king is to treat all his countrymen with love and care, but he treats them very badly. If this behavior continues, one day people will remove him from the throne. King went on saying, I am extremely worried about his temperament. Dear ascetic, I would remain indebted to you forever if you could do something to improve my son. Ascetic thought for a while and said, Okay, I will try my best to convince the prince. You'll send him to me tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Next day, prince went to ascetic. King ordered him to stay there as long as ascetic desired. Prince was reluctant to go there because he did not want to leave all his princely luxuries and live in austerity. However, he went there. Ascetic greeted the prince with a smile and took him inside the hut. Next morning he went for a stroll in the garden with a prince. It was beautiful morning. They saw beautiful colorful butterflies, birds, beautiful flowers and trees. Prince was enjoying the morning when they came across a small pond. It had a few branches and few tender green leaves. Ascetic plucked a leaf and asked the prince, Please chew this. As soon as the prince chewed the leaf between his teeth, he spat out, saying, Oh, what an awful taste. Ascetic asked, What is the matter? Is anything wrong? So he said, Oh, it tastes bitter like poison, said Prince. So you want to kill me? Prince asked him arrogantly. Ascetic said, No, of course not. I don't want to kill you. Why will I do that? Prince said, Leaf of this tiny plant tastes as bitter as poison. Imagine how dangerous it will become when it grows up. It will kill many people. I'll uproot it right now so that nobody eats it, lives even by mistake. Saying this, the prince uprooted the tiny plant and threw it away. Ascetic smiled at the young prince. After this, they went and sat near a pond of lilies. Pleasant wind was blowing. Ascetic said, You were right. Any dangerous thing should be ripped off in its initial stage itself. I appreciate your concern about your fellow beings. Now we'd like to draw your attention towards your personal nature. What he wants to taught him that his personal nature was very rude and arrogant to everybody. People of his kingdom look him as an angry and arrogant person. Also one day he will also uproot and throw out of this kingdom, just like he has uprooted that plant. Prince was listening to the ascetic with patience. Now he realized, first he said, Okay, but I am the prince of this kingdom. How can they do? Then the ascetic told him that they can do this if they find his presence harmful for the kingdom. Oh no, exclaimed the prince. Yes, dear friend, this can happen if you do not change your attitude. Hence, take my advice, uproot all bitterness of anger from yourself. Be good and gentle to everyone, whether big or small. Be friendly with everyone around you. Believe me, this change within you will bring boundless happiness in your life. People will also feel secure and happy. Prince was listening to the ascetic carefully. Ascetic's word of wisdom penetrated deep into his mind. The prince now realized the real poison was in his mind. He decided to uproot and throw it out his arrogance. Prince bowed before the ascetic with gratitude. He promised ascetic, From now onwards, I'll change myself. I have understood your words of wisdom. Henceforth, I will live happy and meaningful life. So, what is the moral of this story? Real happiness is achieved only when you uproot all the bitterness, angers, and arrogance present inside your mind. Okay, so this story is completed here. Thank you and have a nice day. Morning, students. Now, today